Hi, I'm Chris Colvin. I'm the founder of PARC, which is a selective community for in-house counsel, outside counsel, and legal technology executives who want to network more effectively with their peers and achieve greater success. I'm here today to talk a little bit about one of our initiatives, which is that we're working with super lawyers to better understand how PARC members can become accredited with the super lawyer's credential. It's a fairly straightforward four-part process, and we'll be going through that in just a few minutes. I just wanted to briefly introduce myself. I'm Chris Colvin. I'm the founder of PARC. I'm a 26-year veteran of the legal services industry, and I've been a partner at a big firm. I've started my own practice, and I've been in-house in a Fortune 500 legal department. My specialty areas are intellectual property law and commercial litigation. And I started PARC over 10 years ago because I thought that ambitious, high-achieving lawyers should have a better way to network with each other, get to know their peers, and really build a world-class network of other legal professionals. If you want to learn more about PARC, you can go to parclegal.org, that's PARC with a C, and learn more. So let's dive into today's topic. We'll be talking a little bit about the super lawyer's credential. One of the things that attracted us at PARC to super lawyers is that it's a peer review process. So essentially, your legal peers go on record saying that they believe you're an excellent lawyer and you're very good in your specialty area. And the more nominations you get, the more likely it is that you will become and remain a super lawyer under the super lawyers rubric. So let's dive right into this. I'm going to share my screen and just take probably 5 or 10 minutes of your time to help you understand a little bit more about super lawyers and how to get the credential. So my screen, which I'm sharing now, you'll see is divided into two parts. On the left, you'll see just a brief presentation going through some of the major points. And on the right, you'll see the super lawyers website, which you can find at superlawyers.com. So let's take you into this process. Just an overview of the process. Step one is you need to get a superlawyers.com login. That takes about 24 hours or less. You need to request a login, then you get an ID and move forward. Step two is you fill out your professional profile. That took me about an hour, including making some tweaks to my resume to keep it up to date. So that should not take you long. And you have to do that after 24 hours when you get that login ID. Step three is to nominate your peers at other law firms. When you do this, we'll go into this in more detail, but when you do this, please check the state deadlines for those other lawyers you're nominating, because if super lawyers has different deadlines for nomination based on different states, and you'll see more about that as we go forward in this presentation. Give yourself about 2 to 3 weeks to get that process done of nominating your peers, because you have to get them on the phone or on a Zoom call, and it takes time to coordinate communications and scheduling. The fourth step is you hopefully will also receive nominations from your peers. And again, that will be part of this sort of networking process. Do not solicit nominations, and instead, just let people know that, you'd be honored if they chose to nominate you, but definitely do not go out and solicit lots of nominations. So let's go to step one. This is the super lawyers login process. So you'll see on the right, I've got the super lawyers website up there. So what you want to do is go to the drop-down menu. It says for lawyers. You drop down, and then you want to go to the dashboard. Oh, actually, I need to let's see. There we go. Okay, apologies. So go to the dashboard, and then what you want to do is go down here to where it says first time user. Click on that. And then this should take you just a few minutes, just some basic information about yourself. Remember, before you start this process, you might want to get your bar number and your bar admit date and have your law firm link ready and your address ready. So, and then you send a message, and they've committed to get back to you. Super Lawyers has within 24 hours. So that should not take you too long. Okay, and that's really it for step one. It's a fairly straightforward process. Let's go to step two. You want to complete a robust professional profile on the site. And this will be after you get your access ID. And what you want to do then is go back to this menu. You'll see it on the right, and go back to dashboard. You'll have to log in. I have a password vault, so I recommend that as for cybersecurity reasons. And then you'll log in. And then you edit. So you edit your profile. You can see I've already been in here. Again, it took me about an hour to do this, but you can go in and edit. There's a couple of screens here, just really basic contact information. I do recommend that you get a professional headshot. They don't cost very much. And if you don't have one, I would recommend you get one, both for purposes like this. Many of you have them from your law firm, and you can just reuse those here. And then you fill in some basic information about your specialty area. And then the next screen is some more detailed information. That's really it. It's those two screens, although I would allocate, like I said, about an hour. You want to upload a resume or CV. One thing I noticed is that I tried to upload a PDF of my resume first, and it rejected it. So, and I noticed that the MS Word, docx format did work. So just make sure you see that. When I first uploaded the PDF, there's a bit of a subtle error you get, and I didn't notice that until later. So just make sure that you get that confirmed. And then that's it. Again, that should take you about an hour. Step three, this is when it gets a little more involved. And again, allocate a few weeks to go through this next step. And again, you're going to go to the same drop-down menu where it says for lawyers. And then you'll see right under dashboard, there's a nominate peers. And here's where you do the nominations. I started this process fairly recently. I've done 3 out of 7 nominations that you can do on the platform, and I will complete the rest. I would definitely do at least 7 nominations of your peers. By the way, in consulting with the Super Lawyers representatives we've been dealing with at PARC, you can nominate more than 7 lawyers, and we put the email address there to send when you top out at 7. So and that's sl-data@thomsonreuters.com. So Thomson does not have a P in it. So sl-data@thomsonreuters.com. And I would recommend that you nominate a lot of your peers outside of your firm. You can nominate peers within your firm, but it's our understanding that logically it makes sense that nominating it's a little more meaningful to get nominations from peers at other firms. And then rising stars are for lawyers who are 40 years of age or younger, or who have been licensed for 10 years or less. So you can also nominate rising stars either inside or outside your firm. And one thing you need to be careful about is checking the key dates of the lawyers you nominate. So let me just show you how to get there. Again, the key to everything is sort of this drop down for lawyers. Go back to your dashboard, and you can see here key dates for 2022. This is really probably where you want to be rather than 2021, most of which has passed. So if you click on this key dates for 2022, you'll see all the different dates. And so make sure you pay attention to that. I recommend you send yourself a calendar invite to remind you to nominate people in certain jurisdictions. So for example, I happen to be in New York Metro, so you can see our nominations closed January 4th, 2022. So people that would like to nominate me or other New York Metro lawyers would need to do it on or before that date, preferably before. So this is definitely something you want to get done, as early as possible, especially since we're heading into the holiday period here in 2021. So that's step 3, nominate your peers. Make sure these are genuine nominations. You nominate people you know well, most likely people you've known for years and have a deep respect for, because your reputation is important, and you want to make sure that the people that you're endorsing have earned that endorsement. And most of us who have been practicing many years have a pretty good network of lawyers that we respect, and we've either worked directly with them or we've gotten feedback from the clients they've worked with. And we know most of us know some highly accomplished lawyers. And I think what you'll find is, I know that in my networking to go through this process, it's been really great just to reconnect with some longtime colleagues at, say, prior firms I've worked with, or lawyers I've collaborated with from other firms. So I think this can be, it's work, you need to put in the time, but it is enjoyable and it's a worthwhile endeavor in itself. And then finally, step 4, this is really about accepting nominations from your peers. And again, I wouldn't be solicitous. This is not a sales process. Really, I think for me, the best way to go about it is when you're in the process of nominating your peers from your own network, get on a Zoom call. You could do it on the phone, but if you haven't seen them in a while, given the pandemic, I would recommend you get on a Zoom call and do your peers a favor by educating them about the super lawyers process, explaining how they go about doing it. If you want to use my presentation to do so, I'd be happy to send you a copy. You can reach out to me at chris@parclegal.org, CHRIS. Happy to provide that presentation, and you can share that information with your peers. And I think they'll appreciate you doing that. Make sure your peers, when you have this discussion, know your deadline. So again, for me in New York, that would be January 4th of 2022, and you have to really back up several weeks from that to complete the nomination. By the way, I'm not sure I mentioned it, but when you actually nominate someone, let me go through that process. I won't actually do it live here, but I will show you. It really does not take too long. You click on the Add Nomination button, and then see, it's a very brief form. I recommend for the biographical link, probably the best link is LinkedIn, because lawyers do change firms. And you might want to renew, and it's very likely you'll want to renew your recommendation for your peers each year. And if you have their LinkedIn link, that won't change perhaps as frequently as their law firm link. It says optional when you have comments on the attorney. I definitely recommend you add that, because I think that'll make your endorsement more meaningful. And that's really the 4-step process. It is, again, as I said, a nice opportunity to reconnect with your peers. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Chris, CHRIS, @parclegal.org. I've put PARC's mission there, so let me just reiterate that briefly. Our mission is to empower legal professionals to build a world-class network of in-house counsel, outside counsel, and legal technologists to fuel long, successful, and enjoyable careers. And I really believe that having a strong network of your peers is really essential these days, especially because we really do need to better understand client needs. If we're outside counsel, we need to understand technology, whether we're in-house or outside. And of course, legal technology executives really need to understand the needs of both in-house and outside counsel. So really think it's fruitful to network with all 3 stakeholder groups within the legal environment. So finally, if you have any additional questions, you can always go to our website at parclegal.org. So thank you very much. I hope this was a useful presentation. We are going to have a live version of this. Let me just go back to the first slide. going to have a live version on October 29th, 2021, and we'll be doing a little bit of Q&A if anybody has questions. So feel free to sign up for that. You just go to parclegal.org, click on events, and sign up for that. We welcome all in-house counsel, outside counsel, and legal technology executives to sign up for this information session. So thanks again, and hope to see you again soon.